You ever walked into a room and felt the energy shift? People stop and stare, some in awe, others in discomfort. You don't try to stand out, you just do. And no matter where you go, people either admire you or secretly resent you. Why? Because you are different. Because you were chosen. Maybe you've felt it your whole life, like you don't quite fit in. People open up to you, yet at the same time, some try to bring you down. You sense things others don't. You've been through struggles that would have broken most, but somehow you're still standing, stronger than ever. This isn't a coincidence. This is proof. In this video, I'm going to share 7 powerful signs that people know you're the chosen one, even if they never say it out loud. Some will try to deny it, some will envy it, and some will be drawn to your light without even knowing why. But one thing is clear, they see it. And by the end of this video, so will you. So stay till the end, because you might realize something about yourself that you never saw before. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to show love by liking, subscribing, and dropping a comment below. Join our community of chosen ones, because you are not alone. Let's get into it. There's something about you, something unexplainable, yet undeniable. Whenever you enter a room, things change. The air feels different. Some people stop talking, their eyes subtly turning toward you. Others shift in their seats, suddenly more aware of their surroundings. You might not even say a word, but your presence is already speaking volumes. This isn't arrogance, it's energy. Some people feel drawn to you like a magnet they can't resist. They might smile, want to be near you, or feel instantly comfortable opening up to you, but others? They might frown, whisper, or look away as if they can't handle the weight of your presence. This is the effect of a chosen one. You don't need to demand attention, it finds you naturally. You don't need to prove yourself, your energy already does. You carry something different, something powerful. It's why some people are inspired by you while others feel intimidated. They sense that you are not like everyone else, even if they don't understand why. Some might mistake your energy for arrogance or believe you think you're better than them. But that's not it at all. You don't try to make people feel small, you simply exist in a way that makes them feel something. And here's the truth, not everyone can handle a chosen one's energy. Some will admire you, others will reject you, but no one will ignore you. Because when you walk in, they feel it. There's something about you that makes people open up. Even strangers, you could be standing in line at a store, sitting on a bus, or just minding your own business, and suddenly someone starts telling you their life story, their struggles, their fears, their regrets, things they wouldn't normally share with anyone, yet somehow they feel safe telling you. At first, you might not understand why. You don't ask for these confessions, you don't go around looking for people's secrets, but time and time again it happens. Acquaintances, co-workers, even people you just met, they trust you in a way that feels almost unnatural. This isn't a coincidence. This is a sign. Your presence carries something rare, a deep, unshakable wisdom. Even if you don't realize it, people can feel it. They sense that you won't judge them, that you understand things most people don't. This is spiritual authority. People may not be able to explain why they feel drawn to you, but their soul recognizes your light, and when they're around you, something inside them stirs. They feel like they can finally let go of their burdens, even if just for a moment. But here's the thing, not everyone who confesses to you is looking for advice. Sometimes they just need a space where they can be real, a space where they can breathe without fear of judgment. And without even trying, you provide that space. It's not always easy carrying this gift. Sometimes it can feel like too much. But remember this, people don't trust just anyone with their deepest truths. They trust you because they see something in you that even you may not fully see in yourself. And that is powerful. There's a loneliness that comes with being different, not because you don't want to connect, but because people don't truly understand you. No matter how much you try to blend in, something about you always stands out. You think differently, feel things deeply, and see the world in ways that others can't. It's not something you can switch off, it's just who you are. From a young age, you may have noticed that fitting in was never an option. While others easily formed groups, you found yourself standing on the outside, observing rather than participating. Even when you tried to engage, there was always this invisible barrier. People would laugh at things you didn't find funny. Conversations often felt shallow or meaningless. You wanted to talk about things that mattered, life, purpose, the unseen forces that shape our reality, but most people weren't interested. This isolation isn't a punishment, it's a sign. The truth is, your energy is too intense for those who live on the surface. You don't just exist, you feel deeply, you think deeply, and that alone sets you apart. Many people are comfortable in their routines, in their simple way of seeing the world. When they meet someone like you, someone who questions, who seeks, who refuses to conform, it unsettles them. It forces them to confront things they aren't ready to face. They may not hate you, but they will distance themselves. They might not have the words to explain why, but something about you makes them uneasy. You remind them of the depth they've been avoiding, the truths they aren't ready to face. Some may even try to label you as too serious, too intense, or too different, because they can't put you in a box. But here's the thing, you were never meant to fit in. Chosen ones walk a path that is often lonely, not because they are unworthy of connection, but because their journey is different. The isolation isn't a curse, it's preparation. It teaches you to rely on your own wisdom, to trust your intuition, and to embrace your uniqueness instead of hiding it. In time, you'll find others who see you for who you truly are, those who understand your depth, who appreciate your mind, and who don't feel threatened by your energy. Until then, remember this: you are not alone. You are simply walking a path that few have the courage to take. There are moments when you notice the stares, the whispers, the subtle hostility from people who barely know you. They envy you, but not because of money, status, or material success. It's something deeper, something unspoken. You've seen it before, maybe in a workplace, a classroom, or even within your own family. People act strangely around you, throwing passive-aggressive comments or giving you cold looks for no reason. Sometimes it's a friend who suddenly becomes distant. Other times it's a stranger who treats you with unnecessary rudeness, and you wonder, why? What did I do? The answer is simple. It's not about what you've done, it's about who you are. Your presence alone is enough to stir emotions in people. You don't have to be the richest, the most attractive, or the most accomplished. Your energy carries something rare, something that low vibrational people find unsettling. They don't understand why, but they feel it. And instead of facing their own insecurities, they project their jealousy onto you. You radiate something they don't: inner strength, resilience, authenticity. Maybe you've struggled, but you never let it break you. Maybe you've been through darkness, but you still shine. People who operate in fear, doubt, and insecurity can't stand that kind of light. It forces them to see the gaps in themselves, the things they've avoided dealing with. But instead of seeking to grow, they choose the easier path, resentment. They compare themselves to you, even if you're not competing. They assume you think you're better, even if you remain humble. They mistake your confidence for arrogance, your independence for superiority. The truth? It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. A chosen one doesn't need external validation. You don't chase attention, yet it finds you. You don't seek approval, yet people feel the need to challenge you, because your existence alone is a reminder of what they could be if only they were willing to do the inner work. Jealousy without reason is one of the clearest signs that you carry something powerful within you. So don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Don't dim your light just because it blinds those who refuse to see. Their jealousy is not your burden to carry. Keep shining. You said, now this. You attract both lovers and haters. People either love you deeply or despise you without cause. There's no middle ground. You trigger something within them. Some admire your strength, while others resent the reflection you show them of their own weaknesses. ChatGPT said, you attract both lovers and haters. There is no in-between when it comes to you. People either love you or despise you, sometimes without even knowing why. Your presence triggers something deep within them, something they can't ignore. Some are drawn to you like a magnet, captivated by your energy, your confidence, or your way of seeing the world. They admire you, respect you, and feel inspired just by being around you. These people recognize your light and want to be close to it. They see the strength in you, the authenticity, the rare essence that makes you different from the rest. To them, you are a breath of fresh air in a world full of pretenders. But then, there are the others, the ones who can't stand you. Not because you've wronged them, but because your existence alone. There is no in-between when it comes to you. People either love you or despise you, sometimes without even knowing why. Your presence triggers something deep within them, something they can't ignore. Some are drawn to you like a magnet, captivated by your energy, your confidence, or your way of seeing the world. They admire you, respect you, and feel inspired just by being around you. These people recognize your light and want to be close to it. They see the strength in you, the authenticity, the rare essence that makes you different from the rest. To them, you are a breath of fresh air in a world full of pretenders. But then there are the others, the ones who can't stand you. Not because you've wronged them, but because your existence alone bothers them. These people resent you, judge you, or try to bring you down without reason. Their hatred isn't logical, it's emotional. Deep inside, they sense something in you that challenges them. Maybe it's your confidence when they feel insecure. Maybe it's your independence when they crave validation. Maybe it's your ability to rise despite hardships while they remain stuck in their own misery. Your presence is like a mirror reflecting back to people what they lack or fear within themselves. Those who are secure and self-aware will see you as an inspiration, but those who are trapped in their own doubts and self-hatred will see you as a threat. This is why you never have neutral relationships. You are not the kind of person people forget or feel indifferent about. Whether it's admiration or resentment, you make an impact. And that is what makes you powerful. So don't be discouraged by the hate. It's proof that you are somebody. Keep being you, because the right people will love you not just for what you do, but for who you are. There's something about you that makes people uneasy, especially those who have something to hide. You may not always say it out loud, but you know when someone isn't being real. You sense the shift in energy, the small hesitations, the forced smiles. No matter how well they try to disguise their intentions, they can't fool you. Your intuition is razor sharp. You can walk into a room and feel the tension in the air before a single word is spoken. You notice the details others overlook, the way someone avoids eye contact, the way their words don't match their energy, the way they laugh just a little too hard at something that isn't funny. It's not just a feeling, it's a knowing, and the people around you can sense it too. This is why fake friends, manipulators, and hidden enemies are often uncomfortable around you. They may not understand why, but deep down, they know you see them for who they really are. They can't wear their usual masks around you because they feel exposed. Some may even try to turn it against you, accusing you of being too suspicious or too serious. but that's just their fear speaking. You were given this gift for a reason. It protects you from betrayal, from being used, from being led down the wrong path. You can spot lies before they fully form, and because of this, people can't control you the way they control others. This makes you powerful, and it also makes you a target. Those who thrive on deception will try to discredit you. They'll call you paranoid, dramatic, or difficult. They'll get frustrated when their tricks don't work on you, but that's not your problem. You weren't meant to be blind to the truth like the rest. You weren't meant to follow the crowd or believe in illusions. Your ability to see through deception is not a curse, it's your armor. Trust it, use it, and never let anyone convince you to doubt what you know to be true. There have been moments in your life when you should have failed, when everything seemed to be against you, yet somehow you made it through. You've escaped dangers that others couldn't. You've seen doors open where there were only walls. And even in your darkest moments, when all hope seemed lost, something or someone guided you to safety. This is not luck. This is divine protection. There is a force watching over you, ensuring that no matter how many times you fall, you rise again. Have you ever wondered why? Why, despite the setbacks, the betrayals, the hardships, you are still here? Because you are chosen. And those who are chosen are not left unguarded. You may not always recognize it in the moment, but when you look back, the signs are clear. The car that almost hit you, but didn't. The job you lost, only to find a better opportunity. The toxic person who walked out of your life, not knowing they were saving you from future pain. The times you thought you had nothing left, yet somehow strength found you. People around you may call it coincidence. They may not see the invisible hand that guides you, but deep down, you know. The way things align, the way help comes just in time. It's too perfect to be random. You are being protected because your journey is greater than you. Realize you have a purpose that must be fulfilled, and no enemy, no obstacle, no force can stop what is meant for you. That doesn't mean life will be easy, but it does mean you will always have what you need to overcome. So trust the path. Even when you don't understand it, even when it feels unfair, even when you're tired, because the universe, God, or whatever name you call this higher power, it is guiding you. You are not alone, you never were, and you never will be. Your journey hasn't been easy. While others walked a smoother path, you faced storms that tested every part of you. You've endured heartbreak, betrayal, loss, and hardship that would have broken most people. But instead of destroying you, it transformed you. Your struggles were never random. Every challenge, every painful moment was shaping you for something greater. While others were allowed to live in comfort, you were thrown into the fire, not to burn, but to be forged. The lessons you learned, the battles you fought, and the wounds you healed gave you wisdom that no book, no school, no ordinary experience could provide. You didn't have the luxury of ignorance. Life forced you to see, to understand, to grow. And because of that, you are now unshakable. What breaks others barely phases you. While they complain about minor setbacks, you keep moving forward because you've already survived worse. Many won't understand your strength. They'll wonder why you seem distant at times, why you don't break under pressure, why you don't react like they do. It's because you've been there, in the darkness, in the pain, in the moments when no one came to save you. You had to become strong because your mission requires it. You were never meant for an ordinary life. The struggles you faced were not punishments. They were preparation. The universe was refining you, stripping away weakness, teaching you resilience, and preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. So when you look back at your past, don't see pain, see power. Every tear, every hardship, every lonely night was creating the unstoppable force that you are today. And when the time comes for you to step fully into your purpose, you will realize that nothing you went through was in vain. Have you ever noticed how some people get uncomfortable when you express yourself fully? They tell you to tone it down, to be more normal, to not take things so seriously. But why? Why does your confidence, your passion, your authenticity bother them so much? Because your light exposes their shadows. You are different, and deep down they know it. Your energy is strong, your presence is felt, and the way you move through life is unlike the rest. You don't conform to their expectations, and that makes them uneasy. People who live in fear, self-doubt, and limitations will try to pull you down to their level, not because they truly want to hurt you, but because your existence challenges them. You make them question everything they've settled for. When you refuse to shrink yourself to fit in, it reminds them of the ways they've dimmed their own light to be accepted. When you speak the truth without hesitation, it forces them to face the lies they tell themselves. When you chase your purpose with passion, it makes them realize they've been avoiding theirs. And instead of rising to meet your energy, they try to drag yours down. They'll call you too much, too intense, too different. They'll tell you to stop dreaming so big, to be more realistic, to follow the path everyone else is walking. But what they really mean is, your light is making me uncomfortable. This is why some people distance themselves from you, not because you've done anything wrong, but because your presence alone is a mirror. You reflect their fears, their insecurities, their regrets. You remind them of the version of themselves they once dreamed of becoming before they settled for less. But here's the truth. Your light is not meant to be hidden. You were not put here to be small, to be silent, to make others comfortable at the expense of your own purpose. You were born to shine, to inspire, to lead by example. The ones who try to dim your light will never understand what it took for you to shine in the first place. They don't know the battles you fought, the pain you endured, the strength it took to become who you are. And because they didn't build you, they have no right to break you. So let them be uncomfortable, let them talk, let them walk away if they must. You do not exist for their approval. Keep shining, keep being bold, keep walking in your truth. The right people will be drawn to your light, not because they fear it, but because they are inspired by it. And the ones who can't handle it, they were never meant to walk beside you in the first place. Some people fight for leadership. They crave attention, demand authority, and chase recognition. But you don't even try, yet people naturally look up to you. Even in...
No one understands the weight you carry. Remember this. You are seen, you are loved, and you are never truly alone. The universe is always speaking to you. You just have to listen. There's something different about the way you speak. Even when you're not trying, people stop and listen. Your words linger in their minds long after the conversation is over. You may have noticed that people often repeat your phrases, seek your advice, or recall things you've said in moments when they need guidance. This isn't by chance, it's because your voice carries weight. Your words are not just sounds, they hold energy, impact, and authority. Some people speak, but their words dissolve into the noise of the world, easily forgotten. But when you speak, there's a shift. Even in casual conversations, people sense something deeper in your tone. They may not always understand why, but they feel it. They remember what you say because your words strike something inside them, truth, wisdom, or a perspective they hadn't considered before. Your voice resonates at a level that can't be ignored, and whether you realize it or not, you are influencing the people around you. This is why you must be careful with your words. You have the ability to inspire or destroy, to uplift or wound, to heal or break someone's spirit. Many chosen ones go through a period of learning this lesson the hard way, saying something in passing, only to realize later how deeply it affected someone. When you have this kind of power, even the simplest words can shape destinies. You don't need to yell to be heard. You don't need to argue to prove a point. Your presence and the truth in your words speak louder than any forceful speech ever could. Have you ever noticed how some people feel threatened when you speak? They may try to dismiss your words, talk over you, or even react defensively because deep down they know your words hold truth, and truth is something not everyone is ready to face. Others, however, will seek you out, looking for your guidance, drawn to the way you see the world. Some will be healed by your words without you even knowing it. This is not just a gift, it's a responsibility. Your words have the power to shift perspectives, awaken souls, and bring clarity to confusion. The reason people remember what you say is because your voice is a reflection of something greater. It carries wisdom beyond your years, authority beyond what can be explained. You are not just speaking, you are delivering messages that people were meant to hear. So, use your words wisely. Speak life, speak truth, and speak with intention. The world is listening. You don't have to stand on a stage or shout your story for people to notice you. Your presence alone speaks volumes. Even in silence, even when you think no one is watching, there are eyes on you, observing, admiring, learning. You inspire people just by being yourself, by walking your path, by refusing to give up. Many chosen ones never realize how much of an impact they have. That's because most of the people you inspire will never tell you. They'll watch from a distance, studying how you navigate life, how you handle struggles, how you keep pushing forward when everything seems against you. Some will imitate your strength in their own quiet battles. Some will find the courage to chase their dreams because they saw you refuse to give up on yours. You may never hear their words of gratitude, but make no mistake, your existence has sparked something in them. But with this silent admiration also comes silent resentment. Some people will envy the way you carry yourself, the way you remain unshaken in the face of adversity. They'll see your resilience and wonder why they can't have the same inner strength. Instead of being inspired, they may choose to be bitter. They may even try to bring you down, hoping to dim your light so they don't feel so small in its presence. But even that is proof of your influence. The truth is, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out, to live in a way that challenges others to think, to grow, to elevate. Your struggles, your victories, your ability to keep going even when the odds are against you. These things resonate with people in ways you may never fully understand. So if you ever feel unnoticed, if you ever question whether your journey matters, remember this. Someone out there is watching, learning, finding hope because of you. Keep being you, keep walking your path. You are lighting the way for more people than you realize. You don't need a spotlight, a stage, or a loud voice to leave an impact. Your presence alone is enough. Even when you're unaware, people observe the way you move through life, the way you handle challenges, the way you stand firm in your beliefs, the way you refuse to be broken by circumstances that would crush others. They may not say it out loud, but deep down, they admire you. Have you ever noticed how people ask you, silence, your presence carries weight. When you speak, others listen. When you move, others follow. Leadership is not something you force, it's something you are. This has been true your whole life. Maybe you noticed it as a child, when other kids would wait for you to decide what game to play, or in school when classmates sought your opinion before making a choice. Even now, in everyday life, people seem drawn to you for guidance, as if they can sense something different about you. What they feel is your spirit of leadership. It's not about being loud or bossy, it's about the energy you carry. You have a presence that demands respect, not through arrogance, but through the strength of your character. People trust your judgment, they feel safe around you, they sense that you see things from a higher perspective, even when you don't realize it yourself. But with this natural leadership comes responsibility. Because people look to you, your words and actions have a deeper impact than you might think. A simple statement from you can inspire or discourage. A decision you make can shift the entire direction of a group. This is why so many leaders struggle, not because they are weak, but because they feel the weight of expectations from those around them. Sometimes this responsibility can feel overwhelming. You may not even want to lead. You might prefer to stay in the background, minding your own business. But no matter how much you try to step aside, leadership will always find you. It's part of who you are. And here's the truth. You were chosen for this. People are drawn to your strength, your wisdom, your vision. They see something in you that they lack within themselves. And while some will admire you, others will resent you. Not everyone will be happy that you stand out. Some will try to challenge you, belittle you, or make you question yourself. But their resistance only confirms what you already know. Leaders are rarely loved by everyone. Real leadership isn't about being liked. It's about standing firm in your truth, guiding others even when the path is unclear, and making tough choices when no one else dares to. It's about carrying the responsibility of your calling, even when it feels heavy. So embrace it. Stop doubting your influence. Stop trying to blend in when you were born to stand out. The world needs more true leaders, and you are one of them, whether you asked for it or not. Some people navigate life using logic alone, relying only on what they can see and explain. But for you, it's different. You don't just think, even before things happen, you can feel them coming. Your intuition is sharp, and your dreams, they're more than just dreams. They are messages, visions, and warnings meant to guide you. Maybe you've noticed this pattern your whole life. You dream of events before they unfold. You sense when someone isn't being truthful, even if they've never given you a reason to doubt them. You get strong gut feelings that push you toward or away from certain people and situations. And time after time, your instincts prove to be right. This is no coincidence. These are divine downloads, signs from a higher source, guiding you on your path. Not everyone has access to this kind of wisdom, and that's why people often dismiss it. They might tell you that you're just imagining things, that your dreams are just random thoughts, or that your intuition is just paranoia. But deep down, you know better. Your spirit is deeply connected to unseen realms. You receive information that others are blind to. When you dream, it's not just a story playing in your mind. It's a message, a revelation, a puzzle piece to something bigger. You may wake up feeling like you traveled somewhere, like you experienced something real, because in many ways, you did. Your ability to see beyond makes some people uncomfortable. It's unsettling for those who rely only on the physical world to encounter someone who operates beyond it. They may try to invalidate your gifts, but their disbelief doesn't change the truth. The more you embrace this power, the stronger it gets. When you trust your intuition, it sharpens. When you pay attention to the signs around you, they become clearer. The universe is always speaking to you. It's just a matter of whether you're listening. So don't ignore that gut feeling. Don't brush off your dreams as meaningless. They are a part of you for a reason. They are your guidance, your protection, your proof that you are connected to something greater. While others may walk blindly through life, you have been given a light to navigate the darkness. Use it. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to prove anything. And yet people feel the need to challenge you, to push your buttons, to test your patience. It happens everywhere, at work, in social circles, even within your own family. Some people just can't seem to handle your presence without trying to one-up you. Why? Because you for advice even when you don't claim to be an expert? Or how they seem drawn to your energy, seeking guidance, even when they don't fully understand why. That's because there's something about you, your resilience, your determination, your ability to rise above difficulties, that speaks to their soul. You represent something they long for: strength, authenticity, and purpose. Some people will watch you quietly, never admitting that they look up to you. They may even act indifferent or distant, but deep inside, your journey is influencing them. Your perseverance makes them question their own excuses. Your ability to keep going reminds them of what's possible. You unknowingly push them to be better, simply by being yourself. But inspiration isn't always welcomed with open arms. Some people will feel uncomfortable around you, not because you've done anything wrong, but because your very existence forces them to reflect on their own lives. They see you growing, evolving, and becoming stronger, and it reminds them of the areas where they are stagnant. Instead of being motivated, some will choose to resent you. They may try to downplay your success, criticize your choices, or even attempt to drag you down. Still, this is proof of your power. The fact that your presence stirs emotions in people, whether admiration or jealousy, shows that you are making an impact. A chosen one does not blend into the background. They stand out whether they want to or not. The truth is, your journey isn't just for you. The lessons you've learned, the battles you've fought, and the strength you've built along the way are also for those who come after you. Your story is proof that survival is possible, that growth is real, and that destiny is within reach. Even in your hardest moments, you are unknowingly giving others hope. So when you feel like no one notices, when you wonder if what you're doing even matters, remember this: someone is watching, someone is learning, someone is finding the strength to change their own life because they see what you have overcome. Keep going, keep shining. You are inspiring more people than you will ever know. There's something about you that people can't quite explain. You walk into a room and suddenly everything feels different. Some people feel an instant connection, as if they've known you forever, even if it's the first time they've met you. Others may be drawn to you without understanding why. It's not about your looks, your words, or even your actions. It's your energy. There's an ancient, timeless force within you, something that feels familiar to those who are sensitive enough to notice. People tell you things like, "I feel like I've met you before," or "It's like you were meant to be here." These aren't just empty words, they are signs that your presence is deeply significant. You don't just pass through life unnoticed, you leave an imprint, a feeling, a shift in the air. Some people might experience déjà vu when they're around you, as if they're remembering something buried deep within their soul. Others might feel an unexplainable comfort, as if being near you brings them peace. This is because you carry a presence that transcends time. You are not just living this life, you are connected to something far greater, something beyond what most people can comprehend. It's as if your soul has walked this earth before, as if your journey has been unfolding across multiple lifetimes, preparing you for the role you are meant to play. That's why people sense destiny when they are near you. It's not coincidence, it's recognition. But not everyone will embrace this feeling. Some will be drawn to you with curiosity, eager to understand why they feel so connected to you. Others will be intimidated, unsettled by something they can't quite name. They may keep their distance, not out of dislike, but because your energy feels too intense, too real, too raw. Some people spend their entire lives hiding from truth, avoiding anything that forces them to think too deeply. But you don't give them that option. Your very presence reminds them of something greater, something they may not be ready to face. You might notice that people open up to you in ways they don't with others. Strangers tell you their life stories without hesitation, as if they've been waiting for someone like you to listen. This happens because on an energetic level, they recognize your wisdom. Even if you don't say much, your presence alone gives them a sense of safety, as if you hold ancient knowledge they can't quite put into words. You make them feel seen, understood, and accepted. At times, this can be overwhelming. You may wonder why people attach to you so quickly, why they seek your guidance, why they look to you as if you have all the answers. But this is simply part of being a chosen one. Your spirit carries something rare, an energy that shifts the people around you, whether you intend to or not. Your very existence makes them uncomfortable. You see, most people move through life without ever questioning themselves. They stay in their comfort zones, hiding behind false confidence. But when they meet someone like you, someone who carries a quiet strength, someone who doesn't need validation to feel powerful, it shakes them to their core. They don't know why, but they feel threatened. So they test you. They challenge your intelligence, your patience, your skills. They try to make you slip, to bring you down to their level. They might mock your ideas, question your beliefs, or compete with you in ways that don't even make sense. And the most confusing part? You're not even trying to compete. That's what bothers them the most. When someone constantly seeks approval, they can't understand someone who doesn't need it. When someone is insecure, they struggle to be around someone who moves with certainty. It's not about you, it's about them. They see in you what they lack in themselves, and instead of learning from your presence, they test you to prove that you're not as strong as you seem. But here's the truth, you don't have to prove anything. A lion doesn't need to respond to barking dogs. A king or queen doesn't need to argue with those who challenge their throne. You know who you are, and that's enough. So when people test you, don't take the bait. Don't lower yourself just to prove something to those who will never understand your worth. Instead, stand firm in your truth. The right people will recognize your power without needing a demonstration. And those who don't, let them keep playing their games. You're operating on a whole different level. There are moments when you feel like no one truly understands you. You walk through life with a deep sense of purpose, yet the people around you don't seem to see it. Conversations feel shallow, connections feel temporary, and no matter how many people surround you, there's an undeniable sense of distance, as if you exist in a world separate from everyone else. You may wonder why you feel this way, why you always seem to be on the outside looking in, even when you try to blend in. But the truth is, your journey is different, and so is your energy. You were never meant to be just another face in the crowd, and yet even in your loneliest moments, something strange happens. You notice signs, patterns that seem too specific to be coincidences. You check the time, and it's always a repeating number, 11:11, 4:44, 3:33. A song plays on the radio that speaks directly to what you were just thinking about. A stranger crosses your path and says something that answers a question you hadn't even voiced out loud. These are not accidents, these are reminders, they are messages from the universe, from God, from whatever higher force you believe in. They whisper to you, you are not alone, you are being guided. Even when people disappear from your life, when relationships fade, when you outgrow friendships that once meant everything to you, the universe replaces that emptiness with something greater. You may lose people, but you gain wisdom. You may feel disconnected from those around you, but you find deeper connections with forces unseen. Some call them guardian angels, spirit guides, ancestors, or divine energy, but whatever name you give it, the truth remains the same. You are being watched over, protected, and guided. Think back to the times when you should have fallen, but somehow you didn't. The moments when life pushed you to your limits, but something unseen pulled you back from the edge.
The times when you felt broken, lost, or abandoned, yet a sudden moment of clarity, a dream, a sign, or an unexpected opportunity brought you back to yourself. These moments are not coincidences. They are divine interventions, gentle nudges from the universe reminding you that your journey has a purpose, even when it feels like no one else sees it. Many chosen ones experience this isolation. It is not a punishment, but a form of preparation. You are being molded, strengthened, and refined. The solitude you face teaches you to rely on your inner wisdom, to trust the guidance you receive, and to walk a path that few can follow. The reason you don't fit in with the masses is because you were never meant to. Your soul vibrates on a different frequency, one that attracts both deep admiration and, unfortunately, discomfort from those who don't understand it. Yet in your quietest moments, when you sit in stillness and listen, you feel something, a presence, a knowing, an unshakable awareness that you are not walking this path alone. That feeling is real. It's the same energy that nudges you toward your purpose, that whispers wisdom into your soul, that sends you signs when you need them the most. The same energy that ensures that no matter how isolated you may feel, you are never truly abandoned. So when the loneliness creeps in, when the world feels distant, when it seems like